Hello, everybody, and welcome to Just Force 911. I'm William Heineman, your host. I got one from you from John Bryant, the civil rights lawyer. Go check him out. Tell him I sent you. Show him some love. Hit his subscribe if you already haven't done that. Hit the like button. Check him out. He has some very, very good stuff and a lot of information. When I say a lot of information, I mean there's a lot. This one here, you guys have heard me talk about the Blue Shield, the Blue Line gang, the whole bit. Bad cops, sovereign citizens, a violation of their oath on a public official should be a felony. This is the reason I'm saying all this stuff, guys. This scumbag cop runs in, half-cocked, kicks a suspect that's already on his knees with his hands up, and then tries to justify it by, well, you weren't listening. Prison time. Hopefully this clown goes to prison. All right? These are the bad cops we need out of there, so the good cops can do their job and do it correctly. Check this guy out and let me know what you guys think. Go over to Mr. Bryan at the civil rights lawyer, and let him know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. And here we go.
I'm not playing. That's why you gotta comply.
The Canton Police Department has released body cam footage showing Officer Brandon Mamarov kicking 21-year-old Jameer McElroy while McElroy was kneeling with his hands up.
I'm not really like that, bro.
He's not complying.
We ain't do nothing. We live out here, bro.
Why you kicking my brother like that? That's crazy. How many times did I tell you to get on the ground?
That was
Right.
You guys don't want to listen, that's fine. Then don't be surprised when we put our hands on you.
Was that a violation of the Constitution, what he did? Were there any consequences for the officer?
This is disgusting. This is disgusting. What I just saw was renegade, rogue, gang-style policing.
Gratuitous violence inflicted upon an incapacitated detainee constitutes an excessive use of force, even if the injuries suffered are not substantial. Many of you have discovered that it can be nearly impossible to find a civil rights lawyer. Although I get calls from all around the country every day, I'm only one person, and I only take specific types of cases, and only in West Virginia. The good news is that if you need a lawyer because you've been injured, you can hire America's largest injury law firm, no matter what state you're in. Morgan & Morgan has over 1,000 attorneys in all 50 states. Because they're the biggest, they have the ability not to settle for lowball offers. Last year in Florida, they got a victim who was in a life-altering car crash, $12.2 million. The insurance only offered them $350,000. They got another victim in New York, $6.8 million. The insurance only offered the victim $275,000. Best part, their service is free unless you win. It only takes a few minutes to see if you have a case. You can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all from your smartphone. If you've been seriously injured, it will only take a couple of minutes to start a claim with Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/thecivilrightslawyer, found in the description below. In a press release issued Monday afternoon, the Canton police said that officers were called to this area after someone reported an argument involving 10 to 15 people. And they say that multiple individuals fled once law enforcement arrived. However, others were located and then ordered to the ground.
Stop! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! One person running towards 19th Street. There's a gun in his right hand.
One of those suspects was McElroy, whom the department admits appeared to be complying before he was kicked by the officer. McElroy and two other men were arrested, with police saying 2 handguns and a backpack containing, quote, a large amount of marijuana were recovered from the scene, and it's not clear who possessed those items. This is what the body cam footage shows. Following a brief chase after a suspect who was accused of carrying a gun, an officer comes across McElroy and 4 others in a parking lot. The officer shouts for them to stop walking and then calls for backup over his radio.
239, I got 5 at gunpoint in this parking lot, not really complying. I could use more units.
Get on the ground right now!
That request prompts Officer Mamarov to begin running to the area. the time he arrives, body cam shows 4 of the men are already lying on the ground. McElroy is on his knees with his hands up when Officer Mamarov runs right for him and kicks him.
That's why you gotta comply.
Why is my brother like that, bro?
Because he's not complying.
Damn, bro, that's how y'all. We ain't do nothing. We live out here, bro. Bro, I live right there. Right there. How you gonna arrest me? What the fuck?
Everyone's getting detained.
Did anybody have eyes on the male that jumped the fence to make it to 19th, or is he bunkered down over here?
Take your knees this way. I'll move your butt. There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Copy. I think you guys are on your own right now. We got a bunch to take.
You know, we ain't running that, so why we getting in trouble?
This is change now.
Get in ours.
You had to hang up on my mom like that, though?
That moment surprised the others on the ground, and it also surprised McElroy's attorney, Bobby DiCello, when the TV news showed him and filmed him watching this body cam footage for the first time and listening to the officer's explanation.
This is disgusting. This is disgusting. What I just saw was renegade, rogue, gang-style policing.
After the suspects are placed in handcuffs, Officer Mamarov is again questioned about why he kicked McElroy.
Why you kick my brother like that? That's crazy.
How many times did I tell you to get on the ground? Right.
I don't know.
Hey. But that was it, though. It's nothing malicious. Just get him on the ground. How many times do I tell you to get on the ground? You know?
If you guys don't want to listen, that's fine. Then don't be surprised when we put our hands on you.
I got on the ground.
So then don't be
It's
surprised
not you
when you put
guys.
your hands on your family or your folks or your friends.
Yeah.
Okay?
I was fucking with him.
Oh, okay. My bad. I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
One of the shipments to leave.
McElroy has since been charged with obstruction and resisting arrest, despite authorities saying that he was complying with the officer's orders. As far as constitutional violations goes, this does seem like a pretty easy case. Canton is in the 6th Circuit because it's in Ohio, so I took a look at 6th Circuit case law just to be sure, and it's very, very clear there. Gratuitous violence inflicted upon an incapacitated detainee constitutes an excessive use of force, even if the injuries suffered are not substantial. And that's as a matter of law in the 6th Circuit. For instance, in the Pigram case from 2006, it was alleged that the defendant police officer slapped a handcuffed plaintiff in the face because the man was being unruly and had a, quote, smartass mouth. Finding the officer's conduct to be unreasonable under the Fourth Amendment, that case emphasized that a slap to the face of a handcuffed suspect, even a verbally unruly suspect, is not a reasonable means of achieving anything more than perhaps further antagonizing or humiliating the suspect. The court reached that conclusion notwithstanding the relatively minimal use of force that was applied in that case, a slap in the face, and the lack of any resulting injury from it. In another 6th Circuit case, the Morrison case from 2009, it was alleged that the police officer applied force to this woman's head. It was alleged that the officer repeatedly pushed this woman's face to the ground every time she attempted to speak while she was already handcuffed, lying down and compliant with the officer's commands. The court held that a reasonable officer would not have felt a threat to officer safety under those circumstances, and that the officer's behavior represented a sort of gratuitous violence, which the court has many times found to be unconstitutional. Such antagonizing and humiliating conduct is unreasonable under the Fourth Amendment, regardless of the existence of any injury. It crosses the line into physical abuse of an incapacitated suspect. Moreover, since these cases, even the ones that I cited, go back to 2006, 2009, it's highly unlikely that the police officer here, if sued for violation of the Fourth Amendment, would be granted qualified immunity, because this was clearly in violation of well pre-existing Sixth Circuit case law, which is controlling in Canton, Ohio. Here, it was very clear that the individual who was kicked by the officer had his hands up and he was 100% compliant. The other officers at the scene were aware of that fact and they were not taking any action in regards to this individual. But the officer just comes running in and engages in this gratuitous use of violence just to humiliate, just to physically abuse this individual. Has there been any accountability yet for this police officer? Well, a spokesman for the Canton Police Department told the TV news that Officer Mamarov is currently working in a restricted capacity while the incident is under review. So if these are your public servants, you need to stay on top of them and make sure that they adequately review this and that ultimately they hold this police officer accountable. I'll put all of the Canton Police contact information in the first pinned comment below. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Follow me on Twitter at JohnBryanESQ. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
All right, so you have a scumbag cop who is running off the reservation, basically body slam or kicks this kid and knocks him to the ground, and then tries to justify it. And then all those little cronies try to justify it. There is no justification. You're a scumbag cop. You got caught on video abusing somebody, and hopefully you go to prison, if we're lucky. Now, we probably won't because your Blue Line Gang, your Blue Shield, and that union you have to back you up because you have such a hard and unsafe job. It's just terrible. Right. Whatever. Just another scumbag. Guys, go to Mr. Bryant's website or to his YouTube site. Subscribe. It is like, check out his videos. Subscribe to mine. And it's the Civil Rights Lawyer channel. And mine is Just Force 911. Subscribe, hit the like button. And we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Thank you, and have a nice evening.